Hey guys, if you need raw dog food anywhere in the United States, be sure to visit our friends over at TexasTripe.com.
Welcome to NWA Connie Corso's podcast, where we talk all things dogs.
Yes, sir. It's your brother from another mother. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Panel time. If you've never been here before, this is the NWA Connie Corso channel. We talk everything about dogs, in and around dogs, on top of dogs, under dogs, all that stuff. This is a small channel. Everyone is welcome. We embrace manhood over here, so you'll hear a bunch of different perspectives. You'll hear things you hear things you don't like, but at the end of the day, we leave it all on the court. You ain't gonna never have to worry about me making a video about you because I don't like something you said. You ain't gonna never have to worry about me taking it offline to nothing, because it's all about the dogs here. So yeah. What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Instagram? God dog, y'all come on in. Even when this reach out to the Spotify and the podcast world, Apple, Amazon, shout out to everybody. Thank you all for your support. If you don't mind, become a member. Help a brother out. Yeah, so yeah, that $5 don't go in my pocket. It goes to editing, making the show better. We one of the underdog channel. That's why I'm excited about this panel. We got on a bunch of underdogs. I love underdog. So let's get it crunk up. Mizan K9 is in the house.
How y'all doing?
We're playing the guitars in the house. And Dre, Samurai, Kennels, aka Shogun Army. We're gonna have a whole gang in the chat tonight. I know Samurai Army gonna show up, boy. Or the Shogun Army, excuse me. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, Doc?
How's it going, fellas?
Everything's good. Well, we did it again. Well, your boy Joe be putting some combinations together, don't he, y'all? Yeah,
Right.
he be putting some stuff together. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all all coming. All of y'all are me and Dre do a lot of podcasting, and so we kind of new-ish, but we really veterans now because we done did it so much as far as podcasting and doing this thing online. Brother Mizan, he been walking with me since day one.
Yes, sir.
Arkansas legend as myself. That good, y'all. I'm up on the north. He holding it down in the central. So 2 kings. Then we got a social media dog training legend, Vanguard K9. What's up, brother?
What's up, Fred? And for the record, this ain't no weed. So y'all have to be worried about that.
Yeah.
And number 2, I'm on here because Doug be giving me free barbecue coupons. Down here at barbecue out back, we go eat barbecue all the time. So that's why I'm here for the free barbecue.
There we go. That's what's up. All right, guys. Well, this show is gonna be open to the public if we have time. I'll take calls, questions, and all that good stuff. So we got a variety of topics we're going to do tonight. The first one will be fairness in contracts. Um, this one was sent to me. This ideal about fairness in contracts was sent to me by Daniel Nash. You probably wouldn't know what a Central Asian Shepherd was or Alibi was if it wasn't for Daniel Nash, him and his father, right? So I want to talk about fairness in contracts. What does it look like on you guys? For me per se, I don't do a lot of work with breeders like other people do. Some breeders, but not on a large scale. Um, Me myself, I don't like to rent no dog. I like my freedom. I don't like a lot of stipulations. I'm hearing that people are paying full prices for dogs and still have to give up multiple dogs and litter after litter. Muhammad, how do you feel about contracts?
You know, I think that people should be mindful of what is fair if they was in the position of the client. And you never do a person, in my opinion, a way that you wouldn't want to be did. So if we follow the golden rule, then we're okay. We're okay. At the same time, those who may be trying to get a little bit more without paying money up front, you got to understand that breeder or the person that has what you need, they're taking a risk to even deal with you. So they should have some type of financial compensation for taking that risk. So you have to really kind of think about it. I've had some guys that I've seen them, give up half of their litters multiple occasions. It's not something that I would do. It's not something that I see as a fair practice. But it just all depends on the risk that the person is taking, and you have to. I'd rather have all my money, even if it means I got to save my money to buy a dog than to be somebody's fool. As a matter of principle, I don't want to be a fool for nobody. If that means I got to save an extra $1,000 or $1,500 to buy the dog outright, then I'll be willing to do that rather than it be somebody's fool.
Do you mind if I cut in?
Go ahead, bro.
What's your name, brother? What's your name?
Brother Muhammad.
Okay. Yeah, I think just to sum it up more than anything, because we could talk about all day long what's the odds and ends in a contract. But let's be honest here, and this is just my opinion. A contract is set up so that you can be done right and I can be done right. So their contract is going to say, basically, your dog is going to be healthy. I'm going to get the shots. I'm going to guarantee your dog lives, is free of is vaccinated and free of anything, etc. for at least 30 to 60 days. And if I want to throw in a stipulation, because a contract is about you create the contract, and he who writes the contract is the one who wins it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
Well, I want the contract is for me to win. It's gonna say I'm gonna give you a dog. If you got 2 weeks to take this dog to the vet and find out, run any test you want, and if you find something that's genetically wrong with it, I'll replace your dog or etc.
Right.
And so basically a contract is set up so that your dog is healthy, that I've written the contract that here's the health certificate, and you find anything genetically wrong with it and it don't live past 30 days, you getting it from me, because a person can get a dog from you and go straight to the park with Pablo and then it dies.
Right. Absolutely.
And my shit don't die here. But
absolutely,
I'm sympathetic because you gonna gave me $4,500, $5,500. I'm gonna put you on the list to give you another dog. If I got another one, I'll try to replace it, something close to it, if I don't have those dogs already taken. So fairness in the contract is basically saying, I'm giving you what you paid for. It's free of genetics problems, health problems right now currently, and basically that is it. Now, if you're gonna go do something different and you ain't got my money, like Brother Muhammad was saying,
right.
my contract gonna say you gonna make payments and this is what you gonna give me. Fairness is what I make fairness, and if you agree to it, then it's fair to you at the time you did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if
Right.
I say
Absolutely.
I have the little off this chick here and I sold her to you for this price, I'm gonna put it on paper because all of these guys who get dogs, I don't care who they is, in the end, they seem to forget what the contract was on handshaking.
Right.
Fairness is basically what you and I agree upon that we thought was fair because we don't contracts all got all kind of stipulations, and that is it.
I agree.
The fairness is to say I'm giving you a good dog from my genetics that I feel is good, that is great. You got a chance to be right here, see it, examine it, take it to the vet, let the vet examine it. If you call me back and the vet say something is wrong, let me rectify it. Let me fix that. Let me take care of this bill or this vet bill if it got worms or something, which it shouldn't have, because I'm going to give you a health certificate. And if it's genetically wrong, then let me look at my breeding program and see where this came from, which I've never had problems, but I'll take care of you. That's fair.
Right.
Yeah. Dre, your thoughts, brother. Thank you, Dickie.
Yeah, man. So I'm not gonna lie, like they killed it. What I will say is this, man, from a consumer side, because I ain't sold too many dogs. From a consumer side, what I'm looking at is one, why am I even over there bothering this man about his dog in the first place? From a consumer side, because from this, I think Brother Ulysses killed that. Why am I over here? Because at the end of the day, if they want the dog, even if it has a small heart murmur, they're gonna take that dog. But it just needs to be contractually sound that you accepting this animal as is. Just like buying a house sight on scene, take it as is. If not, move on to another program. But like he said, my dog's coming with a bill of health. You know what I mean? If it's got this, it's got that, we'll have a nice day. But as long as it's written down and we have an agreement before finances and dogs change hands, I'm good with that. And ain't anything else for me to add on that.
Right. Yeah. So as far as like it get complex because you got the other kind of contracts on studs, on females and things like that. I think basically I didn't hear Muhammad's answer, but I would think if it's something you don't like, try to negotiate it. But I know people try to get ahead. Some breeders got some nice dogs out there, and they might just want you to co-own it. Me myself, I'm a buy outright, man. I don't like a lot of stipulations on things. I mean, I'm just not into renting dogs when it comes, to that type of stuff.
But Joe, at the end of the day, whenever we use the word contract, because contract is any business formula. A contract is set up, and at the end of the day, whatever you sign, whatever we agree upon, that was fairness when you did it. If you do it, you thought it was fair.
You thought it was fair at the time.
I don't care if I said I want half of the litter for my male dog. Rather, somebody say that's fair or not. That's my dog, and if you want to get a puppy off it, you're going to give me half. Or you're going to give me first pick and fourth pick, or you're going to give me the first pick, or you're going to give me what I asked. Contract. At the end of the day, the contract is what we say, and if we both agree upon, and that is it about contracts, bro.
Yeah, but it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more about contracts too, because a contract is a contract. It is what you agree on, but does that always what happens? You know what I'm saying? Let me just finish this little thing up. I send people out to service buildings, right? And I got a contract. I'm gonna service your building for a whole year. Mm-hmm. If he fire my ass, that contract go out the door. Because I can't tell you to let me in your building if you done got rid of me. That contract is null and void. So the thing about contracts, once they got full registration on that dog, what you can do about a contract with a dog with 100%
people who do contracts don't give you full registration. They give until the contract has been savored. Right. So that's what I'm saying about contracts. Contracts are cut and dry. And so even what you was talking about somebody firing you, do you know I got my daddy a $966,000 contract, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me show you how contracts work. Because contracts are in the court of law. It's what you can prove, and it's on paper. So if I fire you and you had a year contract with me for a number because you got a $sign number, how many times you gonna do at the end of the day? I still gotta pay you if you take it to court because paper is what you can prove. It's on paper. That's why it's called a contract.
Yeah, but it still all depends on how it's set up. I mean, who gonna pay like Forrest? Okay, we getting in kind of in something else, but like Forrest like his business. If I sent my people out to go do something and I charge $100,000 a year for it, I'm gonna break a monthly price. They're not gonna pay me $100,000 straight out. We're gonna nobody pays in the service industry.
Right.
So contracts can be broken.
Well, everybody who ever broke a contract with me as far as our business, I've always went to higher spots to handle that, and it has been savored.
But what if you did something wrong? What if you did something wrong and it was your fault, and they was like, "You listen, I don't want your service no more."
Well, I mean, at that point, I can either say, "Hey, man, you don't have to pay me for that," and I can walk away. But what I'm telling you is, in the court of law, man, a paper. That's why it's called a contract. It's concrete.
Mm.
You can always sue people. You can get paid for that, man. We don't do it, but they do it. We don't do it, but they do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it depends on the amount. Some people don't want to go to court and wind up paying more money than it's worth because you got to go to court. When you get lawyers involved, when you get people that got licenses to steal, it get different, bro. That's why you see a lot of celebrities. Let me go and pay this motherfucker out because I don't want to go to court with.
Once I got you on a piece of paper that's notarized and 3 witnesses and all that, I don't need no lawyer. I done did it too many times.
Yeah.
I want to chime in on that too, because one of the things you was talking about, Joe, was you talking about contractual clauses that allow for the breaking of that contract.
Right.
And with these dogs, that's a thing too. But as far as taking it to court, I'm big on pro bono. Usually, I'm not even gonna get a lawyer involved unless I get in a situation with a consultation, typically $60 to $200, depending on how big the attorney is. If they're not looking at taking it pro bono, they don't think they can win.
Right.
You know, if they're not looking at taking it pro bono, they're not. That's like them car crash attorneys. They'll take you on pro bono because they know they're gonna get paid. You know, right? They have a solid case. You know, so I go for the gusto when it comes to stuff like that, man. I go for the guarantee.
One of the things I think people should realize, whether you are a buyer or a seller, when that contract is put in front of you, you got your money in your pocket, you got negotiating power. When I got ready to get in this house, they wanted me to pay the closing costs. They wanted me to pay the inspection costs. They wanted me to pay this and that. And I said, look, I would give you X amount of dollars for the house, but you got to cover this and you got to cover this. So I'm saying to the new people that are saying, man, I want to deal with people that are professional and I want to get a dog or whatever the case is. When you look over that contract and you see how that contract is drawn up, you can say, hey, I see you saying that this dog is genetically good for 24 months till the dog turned 24 months old. Well, I need this contract extended out to 27 or 28 months because if I decide to do hips and elbows in the United States, I can't do it until 24 months.
Right.
And that's going to void my contract. Or you got in the contract that I got to take the dog to the vet within 72 hours. And based upon the time I'm going to get the dog, I don't have enough time.
Right.
Because if once you pay all your money, you do not do what you say you're going to do as it relates to the contract, you void the contract by default.
Right.
That contract is voided. See what I'm saying? It's the same thing if you're doing a stud feed. And we know every time a female is not going to take. And some people are disappointed. Oh, I paid X amount of dollars and I ain't getting no puppy. But when you look in the contract, it does not address that. And what if you stud into somebody And because I did this before, somebody bring their dog, they get their 2 or 3 sticks, and you don't hear from them for 3-4 months. Did she have the puppies? Well, if it's not in the contract for that person to take their dog and get their dog ultrasound or x-ray at a certain time period, they can always say, hey, I didn't have no puppies.
Yep, and then you
So
have
your
to consider,
contract got to be tight on both ends to protect
yeah,
both parties.
right. And then you got to think about what if she don't take? Is the breeder gonna give you another chance? It's well, you got to read this. You got to find read.
That's why you put it all in the contract.
Right.
That's what a contract is. The contract is what we want to agree to. And if you don't see like it, like Muhammad said, we write it there. We both initial it. We both date it because at the end of that contract, we're gonna have witnesses, a notary, and you sign it. That's how my contracts are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out paper pusher. So that contract is. That's what it is. Is what
it is. It is what it is. It is what you write up. It really ain't got to be no negotiation because any dog, everybody ain't been no negotiation.
Right then, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, guys. Let's move to the next one. This was a subject presented by.
Hey, I had somebody flash up here and ask a question, something about an attorney, but
okay, hold on. Let me go. Let me go find it. You remember what the question was?
Do people get attorneys involved or something?
Oh, you talking about Rick? Hold on. Yeah, gold standard. Yeah. How many breeders have their attorneys review their contracts, or do you build your own and push it out?
You build your own contract. Contract is based upon what you think. A contract is just like this. Hey, Joe, I want one of your cane Corso pup. I want to breed your cane Corso. If the breeding don't take, I'm gonna take it to the vet and get an ultrasound 4 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now. And if it don't stick, if they don't see anything, I'm gonna send you a copy of what the vet gave me so you can see it yourself too with the female. I'm gonna take pictures while I'm there. Okay. And if it don't take, will you allow me to get another breeding for my pay for the money? If it's not there, then you don't give me that. But if I don't tell you that, you're going over there. Contract that, hey, if I don't get any brown pups with whatever, you be like, I don't breed no dogs. So that's what we say. No, well, fuck it. I still take the breed. See, it's what we say. It's what we do right now. And I'm put it up on paper. We both print it out. You both sign. You got a copy. I got a copy. We got witnesses there. Whoever's standing there, my girl, your friend, put it on there. Put your driver's license, bloop, you go.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something though. Ulysses 100% right. I built mine by looking at others' contracts. I built it by the stuff I didn't like, and I built it by the stuff I didn't like. I had a 4-page, 5-page contract on a dog one time that absolutely just said I ain't gonna do shit. That's what it said in essence when I read it all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What I read, I said he ain't gonna cover nothing. And then and also on the back of the contract it said, if it's any problem, you can't go to social media with it. So I can't. When you said, I can't give you a review. That's social media.
Hey, they weren't playing.
I like that.
You know I was in trouble.
hey, y'all laughing, but guess what?
I was in trouble.
It's all puff in the country. What are you doing? It's a game.
Yeah.
You gotta give me an opportunity to fix it, rectify it, whatever.
Right.
You can't do nothing.
Hey, Doug in here, y'all. Salute,
That's
Doug.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, what Doug said, he threw his hand up. What that said? Cause I love Doug.
He was just telling everybody hit the like button. If y'all don't mind, hit the like button. Share it. Share the underdogs. Share the underdogs.
Hey.
Absolutely.
In my contract, I didn't read this, but was I supposed to get my barbecue coupon before the talk show or after? Because me and I kind of did over the phone verbal contract, and it ain't on paper. See, now anything can go after the show. You don't have to give me nothing because we shook hands. Yeah, and it's hearsay, and you can't prove that nowhere in court to get your money.
Now look what Sykes said. He said, laugh out loud, a lot of breeders' contracts have their gag order. I don't like that, but it's out there. Wow. Don't go to.
But I like y'all brought it up because, boy, these young cats are disrespectful.
They're emotional. and instead of coming to me, it ain't even got nothing to do with young cats. It's just the wrong person.
I ain't never
If
seen
something go wrong, they won't come to you and try to fix it. They'll go to social media.
Most older guys don't do that. That's them young cats.
I don't know, man. These older people.
Hey, I beg to differ. Hey, look,
Yeah.
hey, I know you got some good stuff over there. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I love that Quattro stuff. But in that American People Will Tell You world, bro.
Boy.
Well, I ain't got nobody with the dog thing, but I done sold a guy a dog training video, and he told me he gonna wreck my life because my video wasn't what he wanted. He wanted a reimbursement or full refund and something else. And I told him, crazy. I saw my video on a thumb drive. Now you done saw it, and you tell me you want your money back. I don't operate like that.
Right.
You'll be surprised what me and Dre done been through.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. Hey, I was telling Joe I had a dude that came and got a puppy from me. Now, he been sweating me about this puppy for a while. He came and got the puppy. And, of course, he had a contract and all that. And something happened with him personally. So I said, look, we'll roll your deposit over to another litter. And so he came and got a puppy. And he didn't want the ears cropped or nothing. He came and got the puppy, took the puppy home. And he reached out to me probably about 2 days later and said, hey, man, I really like to bring this puppy back because I'm a school teacher. And I got another puppy, and I'm having problems training this puppy, and I don't want to be training a puppy my whole school break. Now, he got the puppy, took the puppy home, didn't get the ears cropped. Now he want to bring the puppy back. And he, in his mind, because he's not a breeder, he don't run a facility, he don't understand what I got to go through to take that puppy back in terms of biosecurity issues. Especially with you having another puppy that you didn't tell me nothing about. I don't know where that puppy done been. I can't take the puppy and put the puppy back in the litter with the other puppies. Because anything might happen at that point. So a lot of things that the regular client don't understand the details of what the breeder has to go through to make sure that they get a healthy puppy and to make sure that the dogs on their yard stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping a lot of money.
Yeah.
Your heart, you having heart palpitations because your security raised because you don't want nobody to steal the dogs while you go somewhere, and then you all got these people money. You know what I'm saying? You trying to imprint puppies, feed them healthy, worm them out. You dumping hundreds of dollars in them, giving them milk, vitamins, nutrition, protein, best dog food, all this so he can have the good look, worming them out so his backbone don't show, don't get sick, trying to keep people around, putting fly stuff, spraying flies, killing bugs, make sure they don't get no palmo. You do all of this, and then these old petty people come along and tell you, or you know, one of his eyes is not blue like the other one.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys, he was talking about cost. So I'm gonna try this. I got bumper stickers, $5. Hit me up. I'll mail them to you, $5. They go in the tank.
Bumper sticker like that.
Oh man, yes,
yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. I really want to hang up and come back on.
Yeah.
Because this guy over here, I believe he and I are Facebook friends or something like that. I've seen him a lot of times. He has his Cash App on, and then this guy has his number up there. And I don't have anything up here.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm paralyzed. I feel like I'm gonna go chill.
Go out and come back in and put something on there. Yeah. I come on, and I don't know if I do that. I do it next time. This shit costs, bro. Okay, man. Let's go to the next subject. Dre presented. What is a true working dog? Dre, why don't you start it off?
All right, so I hear a lot of, man, the biggest argument I hear is what's a true protection dog versus a sporting dog, right? Mm-hmm. What is a true working dog in general, all right? My belief is a true working dog is a dog that has a specified task that it must perform in order to provide a service to its owner or the community. That's what a working dog is to me. I don't care if that dog's job is to chase rats, if that dog's job is to sense seizures, if that dog's job is to bark at the front door when somebody knocks at the front door. As long as the task that I got that dog in my life for is being applied to, it is a working dog. All right. Now there's pets that can be working dogs, and there's working dogs that can be pets, and then there's dogs that are just pets. If your dog eats off the counter with you and you let it kiss you in the mouth and it don't got no other purpose other than keep you emotionally supported, that's probably just a pet. You know, I walk my dogs at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because my breed has a lot of stigmas, and I'm military, so I go to a lot of places where it ain't the friendliest places where I got to stay in order to be close to my duty location. You know, I got to report to work in a certain amount of time. It don't always allow me to stay in a good location. So my dog job is to bite whatever is in front of me, whether it be a dingo, a coyote, a javelina, a wild boar, or a person. As long as I can believe in that dog to do that, it's a working dog to me. And I wanted to bring that to the panel because this is a discussion we have all the time, but I think we all over the place with it. You know, everybody got their opinion versus working versus sporting versus pet.
Yeah. Jihad.
You know, I wouldn't call myself, I don't specialize in the work side of the dogs. I love the show, but I do agree with brother, and in the sense that the dog should have a task that it could either do on its own or by command, and it should be proficient at performing that task. If it's even if it's just walking around the house with some old lady that's dealing with neuropathy, and when she get ready to bend down and pick up something, that dog is there to make sure that she don't fall. Working dogs have value. They're going to do something that you need them to do. If it's search and rescue and a little child is lost, they're going to be able to go and be proficient at finding that child or finding that person. They got a responsibility.
Yeah. Vanguard.
It's basically what Muhammad and Dre said, but to fine tune it just a little bit. A working dog, you know, like he said, some dogs, if it don't do nothing, you know, then that's not a working dog. But genetically, it can be. But a working dog gonna show you it wants to work anyway, because genetically, it's always trying to do things. So you can tell a working dog versus from a pet dog. From somebody, a pet dog, you sitting on the, how can I make this dog pick this toy up? He gonna go after it. Not in the working dog. He out here trying to grab it. He gonna show you. So, so basically, what we're saying to you guys is, a working dog has the genetics that he cannot he can't defeat it himself. He just gonna do things. He's gonna work. He has a purpose, like they're saying. He has value, like Muhammad said. He has value because he does something. And if a dog don't want to work, and most likely it didn't come from working genetics, because working genetics dogs are going to do something. I don't give a damn. Right. If you don't play with it, it's going to make a game out your bucket. If it's in close proximity, it's going to do something. Now, if y'all guys want to get a little deeper and y'all want to hear us say what's the difference between a working dog and a sports dog, if you get on the deep end, for guys like military and police and myself who are trying to get the ultimate dog, the good deep working dog, well, a sports dog is a working dog because he does those things. But his character, he's not as strong far as when you start doing defense work and stuff like that, you'll see where he's weaker. He can't handle such stress and pressure. Pressure is when we apply pressure to the dogs, you know, rather is when you start doing pressure on the leash when you're trying to do obedience, or pressure from a decoy, putting him in a corner and flanking him and doing stuff to him that'll crush him and make him cur out and don't want to do anything. Well, most deep working service dogs are gonna surpass because they're gonna do something you didn't think he was gonna do. You thought he was a wuss yourself. You were shocked when he did it. You know, but a sports dog, normally doesn't have the strong civil drive to want to bite a man. They're more submissive. You know, they're real sporty. They love people. They love dogs, but they're high in drive and prey drive. But they don't really possess that strong defense, want to bite you, kill you type drive, like some of the police type dogs in the working field. So I don't want to say it's a difference between sports dogs and working dogs. I just say it's a difference in the character of the dog that you need him for the task for. You see what I'm saying? Because I done had sports dogs, and they were the smartest damn dogs in the world. They do all kind of agility. They didn't make them do anything in the world. But it wasn't hard to take that pressure in the hood that the stuff we gonna do to him to see if he bite for real, if he gonna run or he gonna stay there and not curl down and whip her out. You know, so that is a difference between the sports dogs and the hard police dogs. But it's a working dog. It's a dog, like Dre said, it does something no matter what. And like Brother Muhammad said, it has value, and it does. You know, he obeys you. He's on point. He's tight. You know, and I don't know what other kind of dog you said. Working dog, sports dog, and what the other dog you asked about?
The protection dog. And I wanted to chime in on that one too, man. Every dog that bites to me is a sport dog until it proves that it'll really bite a person without equipment. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's all sport until it's not. You know, it's all sport till it's not. Yeah,
and you know what, Dre? And I'll say this too, because I have to be honest. Some people can have a good hard dog, a good, you know, protection type dog. When you said a protect, because okay, now listen, in the sports there is a protection scenarios, and those dogs are passed, but they're biting the sleeve and they're locked in the prey, so they know that if they get hit by a stick a few times, and you know, some dogs can surpass that and they'll still hold on to the sleeve. And some weaker dogs, you hear them whine and come off in videos. You see people dogs run. Okay, now then you got the service, you know, the hard protection dogs, just like the police dogs. So most of the good protection dogs, street dogs, are like police dogs. You know, you still there? Because we went out. Okay.
Right. Yes, we're here, bro. We're here.
Okay. So most of the good most protection dogs, Protection Sports Association is a good thing. I like to tell people that. I remember when they first started, those dogs go through different type scenarios that are not sporty. They're kind of catered and tailored around real life situations for people like you and I getting robbed, getting jacked in the hood, at the home, just the regular day common man. It's not learning sports scenarios that are being trained over and over and over again. That the dogs say. That's a consistent something I remember, because dogs are creatures of habit, and that's a habit where I learned, you know, through that discipline. Right. So the protection dog, you know, they do different stuff. You might be on the back of a truck, somebody come up to you and slap across the head 3 times. I don't like guys coming up the truck. You ain't gonna teach them that. You don't teach that in the sports ring, because that's not a sports thing they doing. Well, I'm gonna be in the truck. I want you to come around and I'm gonna open the door and you let him out and I'm gonna do this. Or I'm gonna be walking up to the teller. You know, so it's catered a different way. But what I was saying earlier was, you can take some of these same good dogs we got and lock him in the prey, and he'll look like a sports dog, because once you play with that sleeve all the time, happy, you think that's really protection, that's really biting, and he don't really bite without equipment. You lock them into that prey, because, you know, you can ruin a dog is basically what I'm saying. At some point, you got to stop using that sleeve. The sleeve is only to protect the man if you're going to do protection sport. I don't really like to bounce around with a sleeve and cracking the whip and do that, the formation of a dog's life when he's real young, because he never forgets that. And you really don't want to do defense to some puppies when they're young, because they can't handle the pressure. But real hard protection dogs that we're talking about, that we're going to do, they can handle some of that type of scenarios. You can build them up in the tree at nighttime and do stuff and build him up and coming like you're coming at him, but not really show him the sleeve. And later on, let's see if he bite and put the sleeve. So it's really the picture you painting in the dog's head. And so if you paint the wrong picture, you can get the wrong reaction, and you'll take a lifetime trying to correct that and fix that. So basically, the sports dogs are locked in prey. The protection sports dogs and the police service dogs, it's more real life, because we do more hidden sleeve, less showing the sleeve, and the sleeve is just to protect the decoy.
Hey, beautiful breakdowns. I really like that the way y'all explained that because a lot of people think that dogs, it has to be extreme, but you always have to think, where are these dogs going? Into family home, you know what I'm saying? Man, some people try to make you feel like if a dog ain't jumping the fence, biting somebody, you shouldn't own a dog. You know what I mean? Some of it's silly. You know what I'm saying?
I have a puppy right now. She's since she was 6-7 weeks. She'll bite anybody. She'll bite anything. And she's 3.5 months now. And the reason why she's not gone is because I'm not gonna send that dog anywhere. The dog can't go. I don't care how somebody say, "Oh, it's a cute dog. I really want one." That dog cannot go to anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do injustice to that dog no way and just send it to anybody.
No.
Right.
Like you don't send dogs to 80-year-old people.
Yeah, that's too much.
Right.
Bite them and get loose, or they can't control it, or don't send it to no YN young boys.
Yeah, YN.
Show off because this dog gonna carry it for fill out. That dog got to be with somebody who really been in dogs and he really want a hard dog, or a police guy, or protection sport type guy. And they really got a good kennel and is locked up and they got a big gate and all this stuff. A good dog like that represents him, his breeding, what he does. And you want to put it with somebody who got the time to put into that, invest into a dog like that and got a purpose.
Right.
Right.
Let me read Ed Bite Dog. What's up, Ed Bite Dog? If I send a lab or a Chessie into an icy pond or lake to retrieve game, that's a working dog. Or sending a dog in a dark basement with waist-high dirty water to get an apprehension, that's a working dog. Yes, sir. I agree.
Train him to do that, and he do it and don't think twice. You damn right you're a working dog.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't gonna go ice and water for you. You better tell me $1 million.
Right.
I might do it for 100,000. What you say? Hey, look at Dre. Dre laughing like, man, you'll do that for $20. Yeah, I'll settle for 30.
All right. Well, let's move to the next topic. Man, this shit like ESPN.
Hey, what kind of dog Brother Muhammad got over there? What that was?
Rottweilers.
Man, I want that dog.
Yeah, she bad. Boy, I got one that's bad.
Yeah. Okay, let me get to the next one. This is a topic Brother Muhammad brought in. Building value in a dog. Muhammad, take off with it.
You know, we just talked about, working dogs. Essentially, when we get a dog, we have a dog that has potential. That dog has to be put in the right environment that's going to nurture or cultivate that potential. Some people get a nice dog that can be a quote-unquote working dog, and they're going to tie it up to a tree in the backyard. And it may be the best dog that comes from somebody's kennel, from somebody's blood, but it's not in an environment where the dog can reach its potential and display its potential. So when I think about building value in dogs, I think about dog achievement. I think about genetic health, because in the breed that I deal, the two breeds I deal with, genetic health is a big thing. There are people that spend a lot of money to make sure that their dog has all these tests, that the dog is genetically sound in terms of physical health, and then in terms of psychological health, the evaluations we do. We pay money to get that done. So when we're doing that, we're building value in our stock. Even when it comes down to training, if you got a dog that's trained, that's once again, it's something you're investing in that dog and you're building that dog up at that point. So when I say value, that's what I'm talking about. Everything that you can do for the dog, to the dog, to show that the dog is just not a regular mutt tied to a tree is building value.
Right. Dre, you want to take off with that?
Yeah, man. So I agree in totality. But another thing is, you as a person build value with your dog. And I'm gonna say that again. You as a person build value with your dog. Every generation that you have researched, you become an expert on your line of animals. Nobody's gonna know it better than you are, right? You yourself are an encyclopedia or a resource about the dog. I love what you were saying. If you're showing them, if you're training them, if you're getting them emotionally, psychologically, genetically evaluated, hip tested, all of these things add value. But at the end of the day, I can't go and take one of your dogs and train it the way I can take one of the dogs I bred. It's going to take me multiple generations of looking at these dogs and evaluating what works for them. If you go out there with my dog and try to work him in defense, you're going to turn into a man biting cur that you cannot use, and I can't use either. You can't bring it back over here because you don't ruin it. Like brother, you listen to saying these dogs are all offense, all go all the time. It's offense. It's prey. They look at people as prey. If you don't know that, and I've done this, I've let a guy that breeds Malinois get a pit bull and thought he could train. Just because he could train a Malinois don't mean you can train a pit bull. Just because I can train a pit bull don't mean I know nothing about training a Rottweiler. I know nothing about the genetic legacy of the dogs that I'm getting into. So that's why I say the person builds value by knowing not only they breed, but what their line offers.
Brother Ulysses, come on, OG.
I mean, they just told you guys, if you try to get into dogs, you trying to be a breeder, or you trying to stud out your dog. These guys just told you that's the only reason you guys need to know about building value in a dog. If you're trying to be a breeder, if you're trying to be a stud, what my guy on the panel I was on with got the Creole guy got the Doberman. If you got a Doberman, then you just breed.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right. You like Gerald and all you doing is studying. You better build value in your dog. Train it up, make it do some things, clean it up, make it look good. Yeah. Feed it right, get all the testing these boys just said. That's what y'all do. What both of these guys, Brother Muhammad and Mr. Dre, just told y'all. Do everything they just told you. If you're trying to breed dogs and stud dogs, build value. And if you're selling dogs, build value, invest into them.
Excellent point, Ulysses. I'm gonna say something. It's time to get in some good trouble. I'm gonna get in some good trouble. Oh, y'all might want to leave now.
Before your people leave.
Man, you can build yourself up. Once your reputation as a breeder rises, you'll be at a point where I see this all the time. When a breeder says, "This the dog. Look at this dog." Everybody say, "Yeah!" It's just a picture of a dog. Oh, this dog, this, and this. And it's just a picture of a dog. And then it takes somebody who's seasoned and constant. Man, look at that dog. Damn, like somebody kicked them in the middle of the chest. It comes a point where you have to be careful too, that, what they call it, popular sire syndrome or popular stud syndrome. Sometimes people can just say things that make you think that dog is the shit, which is really not. You know what I mean?
All these dogs. I'm not being disrespectful to nobody and dogs out there and dog in TV land, YouTube land, who's watching us. What is this? StreamYard land. Yeah. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but everybody you walk up to or walk up to you with a dog think they dog this shit. Yeah. If you go to a dog park and the first thing you see one of them old people, one of them other people, my dog's trained. They don't know you. They don't know about you. He does all this. Then the next thing you know, they trying to sit. Come, Bobo, come here, Bobo. And they just told you how everybody dog was imported from around the world. Yeah, his dad was imported. Everybody think they dog the shit. They all lie. Hey man, this is part of the show right here. This is here. Action.
Where'd you get that from?
This is part of the show. Vanguard K. Now, right now, if y'all buy one of these off of NWA,
Get a 10% discount.
All Breed Podcast Show. Training your dog right now for only $50. You training your dog, you want to build value in your dog, get you one of these.
I took it off the wall.
Get you a dog arm sleeve that has a beautiful
I took it out.
in here to start your dog training. This will protect you from being bit by
People
your
gonna
dog.
see you online. Yeah.
You need a report to it. Pick up the phone and call us right here on the NWA podcast. We're giving these away right now tonight for $10. We're gonna have to give half of this to the NWA to anybody to buy half for anything you buy tonight. If you want to get your dog out here finding all kind of narcotics and drugs, what you need a sending ball. And that was brought to you by Vanguard K9 and
Right. So, man, that gave me another subject that I think a lot of people, they be getting confused as far as like some people think like you could use other breeders' names. Say I get a dog from Ulysses. Ulysses got a hell of a name, especially in the online world. And I can say I got my dog from Ulysses Muff. That really that's not gonna help you sell dogs. Just like import, if you keep with me, the way I think, if you keep pointing me import lines, or this Ulysses dog, or this such and such dog, I'm gonna just go get from them.
Right.
Why would I buy from you?
Right.
You'd be surprised how many of them short stoppers, what they call it, short stopping. That's what they call them. Muhammad, and it's called short stopping in our day. That's the word. You'll be surprised how many of them short stoppers undercut you and sell a dog for $500, sell a whole litter. You still around there with yours. Don't talking about they got a dog from NWA Connie Corso and you sold a dog half of what you selling it for. It does work for a while.
It does, yeah.
If they cheap.
Yeah, if they cheaper, yeah. Yeah.
It does.
Here's one of the things that I've noticed, and I know we did a short conversation about this. Sometimes because people have hype around their name, or they may be good, they may be better with social media, better with graphics than others. People go out and buy from them, or they'll go out and promote them.
They damn sure will.
I'm gonna give you an example. Our brother posted a Rottweiler dog. The inside of the mouth was total bubble gum, and the dog didn't have any brown or tan markings. I read the comments. There was over 200 and some people in the comments saying, "Man, that's a gorgeous dog. Man, that's a nice dog."
That's that new Rottweiler.
They don't know the breed. They don't know that dog could not even step in the show ring, AKC, Seeger, or anything, because it would immediately be disqualified because it does not have the tan markings at all. But for a person who doesn't know, because this person has a name for selling dogs, and people may like their dogs, but because they don't know the standard, they don't understand the standard and the value of the standard, in their mind, they believe this is a really nice dog. They just don't know any better.
Can I chime in on that, brother?
Go ahead.
Because what you said is 100% correct. But what it is to them that flaw to the standard is unique. And everybody wants exclusivity. Everybody wants exclusivity, and I'm done with that.
Hey, I didn't say it the way he just said it, but I'm trying to tell you, to the young world, is all about that new designer, especially. Hey, listen. Me and you can get in our car right now. You can go get some money. I get some money. We go buy a Frenchie. Man, next month somebody come with a new color and say this the new color, and me and you
Right.
all this money think we finna breed, and they got this new color. That's it. That's it. It's over.
Right, absolutely.
Man, Rottweiler, you bring me they mess around and get a Rottweiler, and he all white, and you can bet his bad markings or get one that's all liver with a liver nose and all this, man, they won't buy a dog from you for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. This is an interesting comment.
Exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you talking, Muhammad.
It sound like a prostitute trying to sell you some cat. Exotic.
Yeah.
It's that fire exotic. Hey, and at the end of the day, I found out this not necessarily what you're saying, but it is kind of. I found out my channel plummet like this. Not that I stopped. It was that resisted the change to what these new dog people want. Mr. Muhammad, you and I have proven ourselves. Prove ourselves in the dog world with who we are to people who of our age group. There's a new group of dog people out there, and like what Joe said to me one day, you washed up, Vanguard. You got to prove yourself all over again. And for proving yourself, you got to go with the change. You got to do some things that don't seem ethical or whatever that's right. Because for some reason, trying to do it the right way, the way we want to do it, we ain't winning.
But even
right.
let me tell you something, because y'all going into another subject. The next subject is resistance during the building process. I think we're going right into it. I want to go back here. Look at this comment at Davidson K9. There's a popular breeder who has only 3 studs, and people give him credit as a good breeder and respect, but he has never had a litter of his own. I don't think that's a breeder. If you
right,
it's just a stud service. You know, some people, depending on the ears, they might say it's a meal. But if you can't walk, if you're gonna sell something, if I'm studying and I can't walk you through the birthing process, or you can't get help from me,
right?
You've never done that. You're really not a breeder. You're just stud service.
You know, people don't know the difference these days. So
right.
We technical because we old and we do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you're gonna do something, you need to do it all the way. You know, you can't skip steps. You know, like John says. But let me ask you something.
Hey, wait a minute. The real breeder is the man who owns the female.
Right.
Yeah. You exactly right. That's the breeder. Yeah. On the rise up too, I noticed that there's some subjects people wanted me to bring up. One thing is when I was talking about trying to ride on other people's name, a lot of people don't understand this game. When you buy a dog and you aspire to be a breeder, and you know, as soon as you purchase that puppy, purchase that grown dog, and you pay your money and walk off, you might have 5 knives in your back. Just because you buy a dog from a man don't mean that he wants success from you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the people wanted me to bring this up, and this is coming from this point of view. People saying that, you know, they ain't got big, but they have improved their programs and rolls up, and now they might hear the breeder that, you know, they associated with it might put them in the game, have a little disdain for them. You know what I mean? Then they start calling you. The put down in our world is big breeder. I think somebody referred to me as a big breeder. Like as though I'm a big breeder. Do I got an online presence? Yeah, but I'm not a big breeder. Right. I think it's kind of used in our community. Hey guys, I know a lot of people watch my show. You're gonna see a lot. When you see a brothers on, we're gonna talk that talk. In our community, people disrespect you when you're trying to do something positive by calling it little, your little business, your little dog program.
Right.
Well, you guys, let's start with you on this. Your journey in dogs. What have you faced? What kind of resistance and things have you gone through on your journey? This is important.
Oh, show, or you just want me to tell you? Want me to dress it up, suit tie?
Dress it up, sir.
Oh. I've been in dogs before I was born, so I've had dogs since I was a little kid. I always had dogs. I had it sounded like Dre had game dogs because the term he used earlier. I game dogs. I produced some champions, grand champions. I'm known in that world. I had Rottweilers. I had Dobermans. I had Labs. I had African Barbals. I had the Belgian Malinois. And now I got Dutch Shepherds in my own breed, a blend of dogs, German Shepherds. I've been dogs of my whole life, and I done been going around dog circuits. Back, I was going to dog shows and stuff before people knew about dog shows. I was at the beginning of everything from American Street Ring, Protection Dog Sports, and I was probably one of the only dots around. And when I say dot, that's what it's lily white, and you only see no blacks. I was around when I was called all kind of names. Didn't want to know who invited me to the show. Why am I here? And talk down to me, say all kind of stuff, and tell you all kind of things about if you want to get in dogs, you got to start at the bottom and get a dog from him. And I got my own dog, but you want me to get a dog from him.
Right.
I be around y'all, do this. They want to do all of that stuff breeders do, have control over you, how you breed a dog, what dog you get. We'll give you a grandson off of the champion. I don't want to do that. I'll buy your champion. They disrespectful and told me I didn't know about training dogs. I was just the the N word. I've been hated on. I'd have been hated on all kind of stuff. I bought the number one dog in the world. They told me I stole it and I paid money for it. And then turn around and say I stole it and don't buy dogs from him. And I done been in the dog world where people. I used to be online before the internet was supervised, and you can't say all kind of racist stuff. They used to always say all kind of stuff about me. I made me don't even want to be in dogs, but I wasn't too many people of color in my area to socialize with, associate with, and the internet wasn't as big. Then, like I say, the internet came along for years. I still got a lot of hate, and the hate didn't change till, let's say, about 2012, 13. The internet changed a lot, and people started getting in trouble for saying things and doing things, and people wanted the world to be all over the world. You had some people talking about we all the same people, and they started deleting comments off the internet because most dog groups used to be cliques, clans, just like how church, you go to church, you go outside, you got people congregating in packs, and this pack is stewards, the board, and It's just like that in the dog world.
Right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So if you ain't in the clique, they ain't gonna promote you. So you know what I did to make myself be who I am? I said, I don't want to associate myself with dog cliques, dog sports,
No. Right.
This group here and that group there. Because when I went to these groups, they had Jacksonville used to be one of the biggest melting pots for dog training. You had Shih Tzu, American Street Ring. You had 20 groups like that. You had 10 or 15 groups of Shih Tzu groups. You had people trying the protection sport wouldn't even respect it yet. So they had American Street Ring with Ted Hoppy, and yet go down to Barbell, Florida, and get in that. And he was pretty nice. He was from Germany. But, people that was around there didn't want a dot there. You see what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I don't need to train with no group because they ain't going to help me make my dog be good because I ain't get it from them. Or I'm just somebody they feel a nobody. And I'm paying the same dues and to be talked to in a racist way and all this stuff. I just created a YouTube channel, start playing with my dogs, and I didn't care what nobody think and said. I had my own talent. I just got in my lane. I crunk up my car and I started steering the wheel and just doing what I do. And I don't listen to what nobody say, nobody think. And I just start breeding dogs and training puppy after 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 puppy. And that was it. I just got in my lane and blocked the world. I don't want to be with no trainers. I don't want to be no friend. I don't want to start no group. I don't want to hang with no group. I don't want to train with nobody. I don't want to teach nobody nothing. I'll teach you on them videos. I just got away from people because this dog world, they all backstabbers. And half of these people, They want to hang around you because they're trying to get a free dog or a discount. Know what you know, and then next thing you know, they be talking about you. Bunch of backstabbers. They just people.
Yeah.
I don't need backstabbers. I want people stealing my dogs, knowing where I'm at when I got a little. I don't need nobody telling my business for me. I don't want that. So that's what I experienced in the dog world, was a bunch of backstabbers, a bunch of manipulation, undermining, undercutting thing for people trying to get dogs. And if I do it the way I'm doing, I just find the people who just like what I do, like the dogs I create, and buy a dog from me straight up. And I take a picture with them, show them love, and send them on their way.
Man, you said you dropped some nuggets on there. A lot of it is personality based. When your personality is very similar, a lot of people think like, oh, Joe, he's just a social butterfly. He's a friendly motherfucker. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of do this, just kind of outside of my personality.
Right.
But I noticed too, when you get into the clicks, I remember when something happened to me. I had a yard accident on a keeper bitch. I did a stud thing with. I'm hurt. My kids hurt and everything. And this showed me the dangers of a click. I told one person, and that person told the man I did the stud fee before I'm talking about within 2 hours before I could tell him it was on the other side of the country. I was like, God damn. Then I started studying the dog clicks. If one person don't like it, none of them like it. Well, if he like it, the whole crew come. Those clicks are too dangerous, guys. I mean, you will see them. They share each other profiles, and you tag each other and all that. Those clicks are too dangerous. If a man can't deal with you one-on-one, I don't like a person with a crowd around them. You know what I mean? It's your business gonna be out there when you need help.
That's what I found out though, Joe. All the chicks eventually break up because they be backstabbing each other.
They do.
Yeah.
They always break up.
Yeah.
All people gonna break up. Everybody in dogs want to say they got the baddest dog. These guys be looking for fame and whatever. They ain't really trying to do the best for the dogs. If all those guys together say, "Oh, we want this dog to be bad. Let's put our best into him and sell him." That's what it's about. It ain't about, "Oh, I got the bad. My dog better. I train better." That's what they all do. They all muscle. Hey man, by the way, hey man, what you lean back like that? Like you cut up? What you trying to show out on us?
He's talking to Dre. Yeah, but
I'm talking about you. You Drake look all flabby and sick, looking like Larry Home.
But let me say something while we talking about while we pointing at Drake. Drake play online a lot. You know what I'm saying? He ain't playing, but y'all just use it as a term. And I know people probably feed Dre a lot of information as they do me. You hear a lot of stuff, Dre. And I want to see if you agree with this. It's a lot of clicks and dogs. It's a lot of clicks that you think is good with each other. And they be talk, like he said, they talk about each other behind their back. And every crew has a mole. Y'all know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody got somebody in their clique.
Well, you
talk too damn much.
I put blind spot the mole. You ain't right.
Some of the information I got, videos and stuff like that, you will be surprised. They lucky I ain't that guy. You know what I mean?
I want to get on that one. I want to get on that one, man. First, man, I want to give quick flowers to all three of y'all brothers, man. It is what it is, man. And what brother Ulysses was saying was perfect, man. He don't like to be around and don't like to talk to him. I went through that, and a lot of the stuff I learned from watching his channel. I didn't know that backstory to just now, but it makes sense now why I was able to follow his channel and enjoy it so much. You know, even 12 years ago, back when I was in Korea, right? And Joe, you said something, man. You said you don't like to really talk to them and stuff like that, or you're social here. I don't like to talk to a lot of these guys when I'm not in a public setting. You know, it seems like I'm social too, but I'm not. Yes. I don't want. There's a lot of. I've had phone calls where I didn't say a word. They call me blasting this kennel. Next thing I know, we got beef with this kennel. I didn't say a word.
You said right.
But
Right.
because I was there to be a listening ear, don't call me at all. That's why I offer on my live. You want to talk to me?
Hey,
Talk to me on my live and leave me alone.
hey,
Yeah.
Trey.
If they
Dre.
reach, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wait a minute, Dre. Don't you realize that if a dog man ain't calling you to buy a dog, they all calling to talk about somebody else they hate, and they want to be trying to be your protege. Then at their point, they trying to butter you up to get what they want, and all they do is talk about other people. And I say to myself, that's exactly what they gonna do to me when they sick of me and got what they want.
Mhm.
Yep.
They say a dog that bring a bone will do what? He'll take one too.
Take one.
Yeah. So you gotta be really careful that. I kind of laid the groundwork down early in the game, so I don't attract those type people. They be like, I don't give a fuck. I done heard people calling me talking about I kill such and such, and man, I'll go kill him. Shit, big bad motherfucker. Shit.
I'll be mad.
But this is the new thing. This is the new thing, and Vanguard, you done deal with this. Dudes will try to come up off your name.
They will.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They try to come up off your name. You beefing with a dude on the side of the country you don't even know. Like what the videos about me for, dude? I ain't even met you before. What are you talking about? We ain't did no business. You know what I'm saying? That's the new game.
Hey, listen, y'all. I hate to say this, but it's 10:52. 9:53. I gotta go cook for my wife.
Okay, bro. Yeah.
Listen, before I go, wait a minute. Where's that? NWA Connie Corso, an all free podcast where you get to hear all the information from professional dog trainers, breeders, and stutters. Here, you can get some products today for your beard. The new beard balm. Look at it right there. That's that CB3.
Yeah.
Beard balm for men. If you want your beard to be beautiful like Vanguard, or if your dog's hair falling off, you can get that new hair. PGP's new hair. Various products right here on the block. We have hip and joint spine care for dogs. We have everything. So if you buy from us today, you can get a discount. Hit us up. 904-450-3339. Vanguard K9 is out, and these were some of the greatest dog friends you'll ever meet. And
all right, send that check.
Peace.
All right, we'll see you later, bro.
Peace.
All right. Okay, guys. All right, I'm gonna let y'all chime in on what we was talking about. We can.
So I've had that experience. Here's the good thing about the position I'm in. I didn't really have a mentor or somebody to really ride their coattail.
Mm-hmm.
I found out a lot through trial and error.
Yeah. And asking
you know what I'm
questions.
saying? I watched people. I found out, and I never learned from any one specific person. There maybe been 20 people that I have really, really learned from certain things from them. And when I found out that I had issues on my yard, I just started revamping my dogs. That's number one. I'm in Southeast Arkansas, and here's my perspective as it relates to Arkansas breeders, competition, all of that.
It ain't none.
You got to bring it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I look around and I see what people are doing, I say it's simple to do the things that build value in your dog that they are either unknowledgeable of doing, or they timid, or that they're afraid to do. So I'll give you an example. There's a guy in my city that was doing German Shepherd. He's doing German Shepherd with no papers. I said, look, man, because me and him was doing, small construction projects together. I said, look, brother, let me help you with these Rottweilers. So he was like, no, man, you already doing it. I said, no, come on. Gave him a dog, bred a dog for him. He turned around, put the female in his uncle yard. Female had 15 puppies. He's supposed to be giving me one puppy. Do you know we fell out? Because he tried to go around giving me that one puppy. His uncle calls me. I'm working at the vet. I get a phone call. Yeah, this Muhammad. Man, I got these puppies. I need you to help me sell. So I got to tell him, because he's trying to sell the puppies now. I don't have a problem helping you sell the puppies, bro, but you know, I get a chance to pick whatever puppy I want from that litter for my stud feet. Oh, my nephew didn't tell me that. So what I'm saying is a part of the conflict is when you're dealing with people who, especially when it comes down to money, who haven't had any money, who don't understand the importance of networking and working together, who don't know how to build value on their own. So I could look and I could see, bang, Joe did this, he did that. Why did he do this? Why did he do that? Okay, he did this, he building value on his dog. I could see that, and it don't take a rocket scientist for me to pick up on it. Okay, it's just $157 for me to help test my dog for this and that, and I'm gonna be able to show people that my dog don't have these genetic issues. I'm gonna be able to charge a little bit more for my puppies because I don't have the genetic issues that the other people have.
Right.
Some of it is simple. But a lot of conflict come up when people, they do not want to invest in their own yard.
Well,
They don't want to invest in their own yard. There are certain people who have big, powerful names that are absolutely 100% unethical.
Right.
And the people who have been able to eat off of them, have fed and ate off of them, they know that these people are unethical and do unethical things, but it's the big secret. Nobody says nothing because I don't want my money to be affected. And I'm dealing with this in the Rockefeller world where I'm listening to millionaires that people are dealing with in the United States. And I'm getting the same story. I'm saying, you've been dealing with this person for 10 years. You've been dealing with this person for 5 years. You've been dealing with this person for 7 years. And this person done burnt everybody. Everybody. But they still held up because their name or their reputation can bring you money. So you never speak against them. You just hold it because this person is the person that's holding the bag. So when we talk about cliques, there's a part of the dog culture I don't never want to be a part of.
Right. Let me say something. Let me speak on Arkansas. One of the problems with Arkansas, they're gonna get mad at me. I don't give a damn. I'll be outside too, all out down in Little Rock, down on John Burr, slide down on 12. The problem with Arkansas, Breeze, is we're a country place, country town, country state. They've been selling dogs the way they've been selling. They never had to uptick their dogs at all. This would be a bold statement, but the most of the AKC dogs Arkansas do got is because of me and my cousins that sold them across the state. Most of you got ICCF dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We don't put most of the AKC dogs. This is the killing. And I'm not saying this because I'm gonna show this brother love at the same time. William Curry Farms, Jonesboro, Arkansas. He done slipped in there, and he kicking ass.
Yeah.
He kicking ass.
Yeah.
He done came down from up north, and he whooping that ass. And he ain't driving the price down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He refusing. I ain't selling what these Negroes sell from around here.
Right.
And he got a better quality of dog too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's Arkansas problem. I've seen you, Muhammad, try to rally folks together and they don't budge. You've seen me put out polls. Hey, y'all want to get together and do this? They don't budge. I say fuck them.
But let me say this. I think a part of it is I run into a lot of people that's breeders and that have dogs that they may be selling dogs and they may be making decent money, but they don't have confidence in the dog. And you're asking a person to go to a show. You're asking a person to take their product that they say is good, and you're asking them to hold it up to prove that what you're saying. And most people, it's intimidating. If you say if I say I got the best dog, and there comes to a competition, and I'm getting my ass at every competition, I'm the last. I'm the best runner, but every time it's 10 people running and I'm coming in last, I'm exposing myself. So some people never going to do the health test. Some people never going to try to do any type of work with their dog. They're never going to go to the show because they don't have the dog that they saying that they got.
They don't have it.
It's just the reality. They don't have it.
Just like the guy that called scolding us about we need to work with him. If we showed the dog that the top 3 breeders in the country sold him, we would go viral. Because the dog looked like a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
A Connie Corso. It looked like a pterodactyl crack baby.
It looked horrible.
It looked horrible. If we showed that dog, we would go viral.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, Dre, your thoughts, brother.
Nah, I agree, man. And it's that's where I think that I hate that term real authentic. I say real truth seekers. Truth seekers are looking for not the best dog. They're looking for you to deliver the product that you say you're going to deliver.
Right.
There are people who just want a dog they want that V6 Mustang. It look like a Mustang, but it don't move like a Mustang. I just want to look like I'm driving around in the V8. I don't care. I go to work. I work 5 minutes from my house, and I DoorDash my food to the house. They don't need that V8, Then you have people like me. I fall into that prosumer class. I like to have a V8 so I can get up and go. I pull up at the light on a Friday night and I'm feeling good. Let's run them things. But at the same time, I drive the speed limit 90% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I just like to know. I like to know the engine is there. And then you got people that they trailer their car all the way to the racetrack. It's only put out for work, And so as long as you're delivering whatever the quality of product is you say you're delivering, you good. But I do want to say this about that taking out the product and showing it. There are guys who win by numbers, and like I'm gonna be real. I'm about to get messy too, Joe.
Go ahead,
brother Mohammed. I'm gonna get messy, but I'm gonna be messy. But I mean this. There are guys I know in my community that they will bring 15 dogs to the dog show, and by law of averages, one of them is going to take something home.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's how they do it. Yeah.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm taking 1, maybe 2, the best 2 that are conversationally sound before I leave the yard, and I'm going to come home with something. That's not a question. If it's going to be red, blue, or white, you know what I'm saying? But I'm coming home with something because law of averages is ain't nothing on my yard, even in the breeding program, that I don't think is worthy of the breed standard. Nothing.
Right.
And so guys go, they go, if you ain't kept 5 generations on your yard and bred 5 generations, you're not a real breeder. And I go, if you bred 5 generations and you don't have a single dog on there that meets and exceeds the standard, what are you doing? You are a hoarder, not a breeder.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. And when you talk about that, people have to understand it. Go back to what we said about having that horrible dog is people assume that if I got a nice dog from a breeder, they assume they're going to be able to go and get a nice dog, the same quality dog or whatever the case is. And I always go back to my experience. I had experience 13 years ago where I bought a dog off of a nice line of Corso, in my opinion. And I wound up going through a divorce, so I sold that dog. And the people that was around me were really, really disappointed that I sold that dog because at 7 months, she was doing fence work. At 7 months, really, really nice dog. And I went back to the breeder, same size, same down, picked the same color dog, and the dog was garbage. So people need to know what they're looking for in their litter. Know what they're looking for when they go and select a dog. You got to know what you're looking for. Every dog in their litter is not necessarily going to be the same. The idea is to have them consistent, but there's a process to get the dog there consistently, both in structure and soundness of mind. And in the process of getting there, you're going to produce some things that are not necessarily desirable. People are going to have to wise up and be able to pick the dog that they need to pick for their purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Drake, right before you take off, I'm sorry. Hey, guys, I'm dropping the link in the chat. If you want to come in, speak your piece. Don't stay all night. All right. Sorry, Drake.
It's open.
Hey, man, Brother Muhammad, I love your thoroughness and your thought process. And in my breed, our culling process can be a little archaic, but I call it sending them to the Winn-Dixie. Those dogs you're talking about, they don't meet the genetic the genetic mindset. And sending them to the Winn-Dixie in my line of work is sending them to a hog hunter or a person that is going to put them through a rigorous labor that they can be still utilized for. And it may even make their breeding program, but not mine. You know, shoot them to the Winn-Dixie, man. I will say this as well. I think you mentioned you had a female puppy earlier. You said that she wouldn't go anywhere. That to me is just good ethics as a breeder, as a dog owner in general. You know, some dogs are one person owners or only for one person, and a dog like that, no matter how well they turn out, I would be cautious of even adding it to my genetic lineage of dogs. You know, later on for people like that. You know, I might like it for my personal, but that'd be for personal use. Everything I breed is pretty much for personal use at this point.
Right. Exactly. So, guys, if anybody want to come in and say something, speak with Dre, Mizan, or myself, come on in. Boy, everybody starts showing up. It got heavy in the chat. So we can't cut it off. Let's stay another 30 minutes if y'all got.
Right.
Yeah, I'm here, Joe. I thought about leave today, man. I told you, I took a leave of absence for a week because I got a little puppies.
Oh, that's right. How your puppies doing, bro? How many did you have?
No, she ain't even here yet. Okay, so I stuck them over the period of 6 days, and this is why I shot myself in the foot, but I will own it. I take the good with the bad. So I was talking all this trash online live, and I do it live so they can judge me. Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah.
Can you
breaking up a little bit? Yeah. You good?
Okay. So I was bragging about, man, I let the dogs naturally tell me when they're ready to breed, and I never missed. And I didn't miss, but I missed on my days. I stuck them over the course of a 7-day period. And we've already passed the 63-day mark of the first 2 sticks. But she's big as a house. She's pregnant. I can feel the puppies moving. Another thing I don't do is because I'm not a salesman, I don't really care how many puppies she has. So I like, as far as paying for an ultrasound, and I breed my own stud. I breed my own studs too, you know. I don't care if she has 2 puppies. I'm happy with that. You know, I breed to sustain what I like. But I guess I'm too little traditional in that regard. But I also believe in like you said, I genetically research what I'm able to produce, and I believe, you know, I have 5 to 10 puppies maximum. They should all be of a specific color and quality, but high end and low end. But my standard deviation should not be much from the father or the mother.
Right. I got 2 litters of Corsos puppies coming soon. If anybody's interested, I'm waiting on another one to come in heat. That one's gonna be private. That's gonna be some stuff. Jihad. It's not gonna be open to the public. Some other fellas might get in on a private breeding we doing later this year. But I will announce that, let you see what it is. But we ain't gonna say shit till it happen. Yeah, somebody come in and holler at us. There's 40 people in the chat, so we ain't gonna just drop out like that.
Yeah, let me give a shout out to the whole Shogun Army. You know, they came in here, man. Brother Dickie Foster, Big A, Supreme Excellence 1, score of other Shogun brothers.
Yeah, everybody coming in. Look, man, what's up, brother? Borbalism, what's up, brother? I think you changed your screen name. By Links Dogos, what's up, brother?
Yeah, you got quite a few people in the chat.
Tony, brother Tony in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
I'm really let me say something. I really appreciate just because you don't see them, man, we getting hit up by a lot of breeders 25, 30, 35 years in. Put these topics to the people. Let's see what they think. And then people hit me up, uh, with different topics, and it's working. I really appreciate it. They might not want to come on screen, but we have got some people on screen we ain't never thought would be on screen. You know what I mean? So we
Right.
doing good. You know what I'm saying? We doing okay. I think I put people on the screen that ain't never been on screen. Like Tony, for instance, they've been trying to pay due for an interview or coming on screen for many, many years, 5 to 10 grand. He did it for me for free. I appreciate stuff like that because they like what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't on here acting a damn fool. You know,
Joe,
no.
I done sold 1 or 2 dogs being on the podcast. People say,
Yeah,
hey, man,
yeah,
the guy
me.
came from Virginia, flew in, him and his father, met me at the airport and got a puppy. And I didn't think when we was talking on the phone and doing contracts and stuff to ask him how he heard about me. I said, man, how you find out about me? He said, man, the NWA podcast. I saw you on the podcast.
Man, it's crazy, ain't it? You
Yeah.
wouldn't even think people that's looking for dogs would be watching us, but they do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you want to know what else is weird? I never talk about this. You know who else watch us? A lot of women. And they say, oh, such and such is cute, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. Well, why you like the show? They said, this one lady just told me, I just like to hear men talk about men stuff, dogs and stuff.
Right.
Y'all cuss too much, but
Right.
I thought it was weird that some of the people that watch this channel, you never know who's watching. You know what I mean? That's why it's important, we carry ourselves as gentlemen and things like that. You know what I mean? When you talk about dogs, man, it brings out a lot of emotion because it's a lot of passionate people about dogs.
Right.
But like I said in the beginning, we leave it all on the court. We try to keep things respectful, but I do talk tough topics. I'm sorry, I'm going in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, because people don't like all that sugarcoating stuff. They want to talk dogs, and then we get to meet cool people from all over the world.
Right.
All kind of stuff, man. I hope to get some people on here. It's some badass women out there.
Yeah.
That I've reached out to, especially in that sport dog world. Yeah, it's some bad ones in there.
It's some women with a lot of courage because I've saw women do stuff with dogs that they just met. They meet the dog today, and I'm saying I done worked in the vet office. Ain't nowhere in the hell I do that. So
right,
yeah,
right. Let me get some of these comments. God, dog. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, let me go up. God, dog, these comments coming in. I'm sorry, y'all. By link salute. That's the link. If anybody want to hit it, it's in the chat. Great topics. When I jumped off the porch, I did it by myself. That's John Mims, Top Dog K9.
Salute, Mr. Mims.
Javier, he at work, listening like always. Davidson K9. Why do you think people are more likely outcross when their lines start to dwindle instead of breeding back to old dogs in their own lines? Oh, that's a good question. I believe that goes to my daughter in here. The breeder's breeding philosophy. You know what I mean? I think that, and I've put on a bunch of people. You got guys like we had the chicken breeder Kenny Troiano. He's a purity of blood guy. A lot of inbreeding, a lot of line breeding, and different systems he has. Michael Morales, line breeding, inbreeding. But the outcross, they say will beef back up your program if you need. If your program is trying to diminish a little bit. I'm using the outcross. Well, I ain't using outcross. I'm bringing in a real strong stud for this particular dog I have, just to beef up the guard instinct in my dogs. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna leave those lines kind of separate. I ain't gonna mix it all up. I'm gonna run kind of like a 2-line program.
Yeah.
You know, what is your think about the outcross, Dre?
Brother Muhammad, did you want to cook on that first? Because I saw you.
Well, I think if you're real familiar with the lines that you're running and you're seeing things that need to change, it's at that point for you to do the outcross. If you consistently getting something that you don't like, but you like all this other stuff, I think at that point it's time to outcross.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like what that brother is saying about the outcrossing, and this is my thought process on it. I'm as tight as I can possibly get right now. I did a mother to son breeding, and then basically a brother to daughter breeding. I'm tight as a diamond in a squirrel's butthole. You understand me?
Yeah.
And so I don't want to get any more foundationally tight than that. You began to get genetic flaws on the inbreeding side as well. When I'm looking for out, like Joe said, I'm looking for a dog to bring in genetic qualities or the traits that either complement or advance what I got. But what I'm also looking for is a line of dogs that is consistent, not an individual member. So if I'm looking for an outcross, I don't want the best stud in America if none of his siblings are commensurate with that dog's talent.
Right.
I would rather go with the stud that is second best, but the entire litter are conformationally sound. They are stable individuals. They don't have blindness, hip dysplasia. They have good teeth. They're not losing teeth. They're adult teeth at an early age from tugging. These are the things I'm looking for. And once I add that in there one time, I'm inbreeding again 2 or 3 generations. You know what I'm saying? On both sides. And then that's about as far out as I'm going. You know. Also with me, what I'm trying to do, I'm actually breeding away from the breed standard. So I have to find other people who are breeding away from the breed standard, but breeding in the same direction. Because you can go a long way, but you can go the wrong way. You know, salute the Hardy Dogs, Pennsylvania.
And what? So what? Why are you going against the breeding away against the breed standard?
Man, Joe, you got to get me in trouble. But let's get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I was Raymond here, man.
We're gonna get ourselves in big trouble, nah.
So it's my belief that I'm not in my honest opinion, man. I say I'm breeding away from the breed standard to create my own breed. But in my genuine opinion, I'm breeding as close to the breed standard as possible. All right. I believe I'm breeding what I would consider to have been the true American Pit Bull Terrier, but that doesn't align. Like, there was a brother in your chat that said something about like the registries feel one way, he feel another way. So what I believe is this. I was taught the American Pit Bull Terrier is a dog that is eager to please, has a zeal for life, conformationally sound, is pretty much immune to most genetic defects. It typically does not want to harm a human being, has a high prey drive, and animal aggression is acceptable, not a requirement, right? So these are things that I genuinely believe in my genetic process we've gotten away from. And what I honestly believe has happened with the breed is we've gone to whichever dog is acting alive is the realest American Pit Bull Terrier. While that may be the generalized commonality within the American Pit Bull Terrier community, I don't believe this. I believe that the history of the nanny dog is important to the breed. I believe that the dog should be able to do whatever another breed can do, plus whoop it as part of the standard as well. I believe that the books by John P. Kobe and Richard Stratton are very effective books in the breed. So for me to breed to what I'm seeing other breeders today breed to would be a fallacy in what I believe in and my integrity within myself. To reinforce my belief, when I go to dog shows, not only am I going to dog shows and turning heads, but I am winning.
Yeah.
At multiple because I remember you said AKC, I'm winning at 4 different. I've won at 4 different registries at this point. You know, so as much as the general American Pit Bull Terrier community does not like what it is that I see me do with these dogs, I'm gonna do my 10 push-ups. I quit cursing, but I'm gonna curse today. I'm kicking their ass.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tearing them cat raggedy.
Right.
And that's, you know, you can argue it all you want to, but I just did a special where I mic'd up in the show ring, and the judge walks up to me. He goes, you know, out of the last 4 classes we showed, your dogs are the only dogs people have even asked where they came from.
Right.
And it's not to toot my own horn, but when I'm going against the grain and I'm showing results of healthy dogs, consistent dogs, you know, I call them the old yeller because I expect a certain thing to happen. You know, I don't want to be like the guys off of Life when they brought up the baby with a jingling, and everybody like, out of their balls, you know, and you don't know who that dog is.
Yeah, that baby Pappy.
That dog, you know, that puppy don't look nothing like the pappy, and say, you know, just like that baby ain't that, you know. I want something that you can believe in that is foundationally sound, and that's it.
Let me hit this comment up here. Ain't nobody gonna hit the link. Let me check, make sure ain't nobody link. Somebody said they wanted to come on. Oh, that was my boy. He said he hurt his foot. Derek Leonidas. I believe truth is better than registry. So why do a lot of dog men not call out the incorrect things that the registries do, and why don't dog men form a union, which would be better than a registry? I'm kind of with that, because I'm like, if it's an organization that's just doing something, I'm just totally against it. Why not start your own? You know what I mean? If you're serious about it, why am I gonna be sitting there crying and oh, this is an injustice? You know, I mean,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know a lot of times, you know, protesting don't work. You know what I mean? You know, it don't work for all of us. I put it that way. You know,
one of the things I notice is that the bigger the registries are, sometimes the less consistent they are as it relates to policy. And to be honest with you, just like a lot of programs are just chasing a dollar, a lot of registries are chasing a dollar. You know what I'm saying? The breeders set the tone on a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We set the tone on a lot of stuff. There are certain registries right now that want to change the standard of the Corso. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's some agreement and there's some disagreement as it relates to why change the standard.
Right.
So I mean, it's a lot of pros and cons. It's a lot of pros and cons, and when you make an argument, you have to make sure that your argument is consistent. I don't want a Rockweller that looks like the Rockwellers from the 1910. You know, that's not what I want. But there are people who will argue and say, well, the dog needs to look like the dog from 1910. So the same way in the Napoleon Massive. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it's touch and go, because it's a lot of things that we see in a dog that we like. And in my opinion, when you're talking about improving the breed, I like the muscle mass of the Rottie now versus something that's leggy and weedy from the 1920s. So it's touch and go. You know what I'm saying? As far as that's concerned.
Paige Haas, come in, bro. I want to meet you. Paige Haas Rottweilers. Come in if you can. And that's the thing, you know, we might have a cookbook.
That's the brother, Joe.
Okay. So that's the thing. We might all have a cookbook that we supposed to go by, but when you in different kitchens, you're gonna cook up.
Right.
It's the breeder. I don't like hearing all that. Ain't they doing it? It's you doing it. It's the breeders doing it.
Right.
Okay. Right. All right. This John. What's going on, John?
What's up, gentlemen? How you guys doing, man?
Good.
All right, what's going on, John?
I'm trying to make it, bro. Went hung out with some classmates, some old football players, and reminiscing and all that good stuff, you know, but I was listening to the podcast at the same time.
Right.
So I'm driving to the house. So something that I want to hit on about trainers and the dogs that they get, or the dogs that they prefer, I should say, okay? I'm a trainer. I train what's in front of me. Doesn't matter if it comes from the best breeder in the States or from overseas. The dog that's in front of me is the dog that I train. Whether it's a show line dog, a working line dog, or a backyard breeder. Some of the best dogs I've put out came from so-called backyard breeders.
Right.
You know, I train what's in front of me. I've had so many dogs over my training career where guys say, oh, well, other trainers may have evaluated the dog, won't make it. Well, you don't know how to make it. You know, that's kind of getting old from me saying that with so many trainers, because they only know a certain way to do things. If that's the case, then you only date the girls that wear glasses, or the girls that got dark hair, short hair, or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want all of them.
Right.
I want them all. So my training repertoire has to be vast. My training drawer where I can go out and pull out these tricks for each dog or the personality that I'm dealing with has to be vast and deep, because it's very few dogs that I'll turn away. And it may take me longer to get to where I'm trying to go with that particular dog, but I'll get there with him. You know,
Right.
just say if we take a dog that you buy from the best breeder, just say, okay, we'll say Rottweilers. You take from the number one guy with the Rottweiler bred to the number 3 female in the country. And if you do nothing with that dog but take it home, put it in the backyard or put it in the kennel and do nothing with it, and I go buy a Rottweiler from Joe Blow down the street that just threw 2 together, and I worked the hell out of that pup and trained and put the time into that dog, and we look at those dogs a year from the date that we both pick them up. We picked them up on the same day. What dog looks like it comes off of the best dogs in the land, the ones that had the time put into them. And when people stop looking for instant results or quick results, that's when the product will start changing. And you start demanding that stuff. You know, I went to some guys' houses that had pups, Malinois pups, Dutch Shepherd pups, Rotties, all that. And I'll go and I'll just pick up the food pen and just drop it in the yard on the concrete. Half these dogs that they claim and the puppies, oh, they this, they that, this, and they go run up under the doghouse, peeping from under the doghouse. What the hell was that?
Right.
But like you said, like y'all was saying earlier, these guys are, oh, my dog will do this or they this, they that. They self-promoting. I don't self-promote. I want other people to say, hey, man, Mim's going to do you right.
Right.
Mim's going to get you right. Or if you need some advice, call Mims. He's going to get you straight. He's going to put you, he can't get you that. He knows who can help get you to the point where you're trying to go.
Right.
You know, I don't speak on stuff I don't know about. Like Joe, we're trying to get that deal with Miss Ellie in the service dog world. I don't know nothing about that, so I know who we can get to help everybody out if somebody wants to know that's following the podcast, because we are a all breed podcast.
Yeah,
and we want all the knowledge we can possibly get. Yeah. We want it here at NWA. We don't want it. All these other people, they just kind of breed specific, and I understand that. But we want to be known for all breeding. We want to get all people with authority at what they're doing.
Right.
But at the best of it for me, I'm a dog trainer. I train what's in front of me. I don't care what it is. I've had dogs. I've had people here from rescue groups call me, want me to take in some of their problems. And half the problems at the rescue groups, you don't know what the dog's been through. I've had dogs where I started training them and I see the problem coming up and all that stuff, and I just say, hey, this ain't gonna work. You know, because I can see the disaster that's coming down the road. Being a seasoned trainer, knowing what I'm looking at, that's part of being a seasoned trainer. I'm not saying I'm a master trainer, because I don't master every aspect of dog training. I do what I do, and I just let that speak for itself. But you know, when people that buy puppies and learn and want to learn how to train, when you demand more, you'll get more. If people keep buying subpar dogs, subpar puppies, and selling for subpar stuff, that's what they're going to constantly get.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get that in there, you know.
It's one question I want to answer that's in the chat.
Javier, he was talking about the parent club. Yeah, he's talking about not the registry. We got brother Paige Hoss in the house. What's up, brother?
Up, brothers?
Hey, man, I've been seeing you, man. Much respect to you and your program.
Appreciate you.
Did you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Where are you from?
Wisconsin. We up in Wisconsin.
Okay. Right. So how long have you been online? Because you got a pretty big following online. How many subscribers you rocking with?
Actually, man, we just started the online presence, man, probably a couple months. It's not as big as we would like yet. We're still growing. Mm-hmm. I would probably say TikTok showed us the most love, you know, thus far. But we're on all platforms. You know, I just love the breed, man, the Roddy breed, and you know, I'm a student of everything that I do. So when I jump into something, man, I jump in head first, man, and I, you know, go for it. So I like to watch this show, man, and just like to, you know, learn, you know, from the show. I'm not professing to be, you know, an expert, and By no means. So I'm still a student of it, but I just want to produce, quality product, what we like, and just have fun doing it, man.
Right, right. Okay, that's what's up. That's what I've always been seeing you around. I said, man, I need to touch base with him one day. So yeah, and thank you for your support, bro. I always see you saying something positive. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I learned a lot from this show. I know at one time I had reached out to Jihad. We had a conversation and everything
Yes,
like that,
sir.
and learn some things and everything like that. Man, I just love. I'm a student of like I say, of everything I do, man. So I love learning.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hey, Joe, let me
Go ahead.
answer this question. It said, I have a question for Jihad. Other than looks of the Timber dogs, what have you noticed about temperament of the dogs? Let me go back and say this about the Timber dogs.
Please.
I am not 100% against the Timber dogs. A lot of people are, because they have some extreme dogs that have been held up in the public more so than others. When I first started looking at Timber dogs, when I looked at those dogs, I was not pleased with what I saw. But if you look at Hitman, who was 1 point from having his champion title, Hitman has Timber in him. If you look at the female Gabby, that we got those that last little bit, she does not look like a Timber dog at all. She absolutely has Timber on the top and the bottom. I'm saying this because there's something we have to understand when we talk about these dogs and we talk about lines. There is no perfect dog. There is no perfect lines. Understand what I'm saying? When you look at the Timber dog, there are two things for me that sticks out that I see in them that I don't like. When I look at other lines, there are certain things that stick out that I don't like. You could take any dog on my yard. I don't care how good they look. I don't care how much people like them. I don't care how many accolades they've been given by judges. There's always going to be one or two things that could be a little better in the dog, right? So I'm going to use, I hate to call people names, but use a name as an example. TK produced Tamara, who's in Serbia. I would say she's probably one of the top Rottweiler breeders in the world. She produced that H litter, Hijacker, Hitman, Hobbler, all of those dogs, right? That was an outcross in her program where she went and got Timber dogs to put more bone in her line. She don't have any of those H dogs, simply because even though she got the bone that she wanted, she was not able to retain the head type, her signature head type. So she let all of those dogs go. And when she went to Bosnia and did the next breeding, she did the breeding and produced that dog TK Legend, which looks just like the world famous TK New Yorker. That's the dog she kept. She's not gonna let that dog go. What's my point? My point is this. There are certain things that we want to see in our dog. When we do an outcross, we do an outcross for a particular reason. In this case, she wanted to bring more bone. If you look at the Timber dog, despite what people say about the skull to muzzle ratio, despite what they say about the bite, and sometimes having a slight issue with the tail, there is no body that gives more tank built than that line from what I see.
Hey, excuse me for a minute.
Coming out of Serbia.
Brother Will, let me let you respond to that. We got about 5 minutes. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
On I broke up a little bit. I couldn't hear the whole question.
I want to hear your thoughts on the Timitor lines. I hear a lot about the
Right.
Timitor German lines. What are your thoughts?
I mean, personally, I don't like the look of the current Timitor line. You know, when I did some back research, you know, at one time, you know, they really looked really nice to me. Of course, one of the biggest turnoffs to me is the pushed in, you know, muzzle. You know, I think is the result of, you know, a lot of, you know, inbreeding, you know, and everything like that there. But the structure of it, I still like, as he was saying, I like the muscular, you know, structure of it, but I just can't get past that pushed in pug look that they now have now. So I mean, that's my take. You know, there's a particular variety that I like. You know, I like the muscular beard. I like the. I'm not so much and so into the whole big super extreme look. You know, I like the muscle. You know, I like everything to kind of be, you know, uniform.
Right.
Right.
Somebody, Russell, what's up, Russell? Russell Wattwell at Ranch. I can't talk tonight. Says LASIK has some. Do you mean some over there in Serbia, or none over there in Serbia? And if that's the LASIK I used to deal with, that's when I started. I used to ship over champion Frenchies, not no colored Frenchies, standard Frenchies from Miss LASIK in Serbia. That's how I started breeding dogs. Yeah, I wonder, is that who you talked about? Yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna give you an example. It's like, I like Eminem Van House Edelstein, but he has a tendency to throw puppies that their eyes are just slightly too round. So once again, there are other nice dogs that may throw a slightly longer coat. Okay, so you gotta, when you look at these dogs, you gotta look at what can I deal with. People don't like Timitor because the muzzle is too short, the jawline is too short. It can cause problems with missing teeth. If you get missing teeth, then the dog is automatically, in the Seagull world, is automatically disqualified. But if you're an AKC person and you got a missing teeth, you don't care because they allow so many teeth to be missing. So it just depends on, you know, you're always weighing what your pros and cons are. And if you got a dog that you got a line that's throwing too much of this or too much of that, you want to be careful about it. But I just think that we don't have enough data on a lot of dogs, on a lot of lines we talk about. You know, people say this dog, and this dog, and they're holding up 3 dogs out of a litter when it was 10 puppies. What happened to the other 7 puppies?
Right.
So we don't know. And then with people that are, especially us in the United States, we're trying to get rid of these puppies so quick, so we don't keep them and watch them for 3, 4, 5 months. So once you send them dogs out, you don't know what happened. You don't know whether they got a missing teeth. You don't know nothing.
Hey, let's
you know what I'm saying? So
that's a whole nother show. We need to do a Rottweiler show. We ought to do that. Y'all want to do that one? Okay. All right, guys. Well, it's coming in on a 2-hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and close this thing. Everybody who participated, everybody came in the chat. Nice to meet you, Brother Will. Thank you, Jihad. I'm going to let Brother Samurai close this thing down.
All right, man. It's been an honor. It's been an honor, a privilege to speak with your brothers again, man, and learn these breeding styles. As y'all know, I'm a Christian person. I pray. I'm gonna just say a prayer. You don't have to believe what I believe, but I mean well. So for those of y'all who will and feel earnest, please bow your heads with me. May the Lord watch between you and me while we are absent, one from another. Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. We'll do it again.
Thank you, brother. Peace. Love y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Love you too, bro. Be safe.